Hi everyone, welcome back to Newegg TV. My name is Paul, and today we have a special guest. This is Brent Berry. He is the Senior Marketing Manager from AMD. Welcome, Brent.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me. This is great.
All right. Brent is here to talk to us about the new AMD Fusion APU. And Brent, just for those folks who might not be familiar with it, what is an APU?
Well, it's an accelerated processing unit. There's really two companies on the planet that can do x86 processing. And there's two companies on the planet that can do world-class, like DirectX 11 style graphics. But there's only one that can do both, and that's AMD. And so the APU really is the combination of our world-class x86 processing and our graphics processing together. So it's one processor, one chip, with all of that integrated. But this is not integrated graphics like old style, your grandmother's integrated graphics. This is full speed, discrete class graphics that are on the chip.
So you get both of those in the same package with the Fusion APU?
Yes, yeah, all right there. You got your North Bridge, you got your graphics processing, you have your x86 processor, all combined together.
All right. So now we've talked a little bit more about the APU. Let's talk about the individual parts of it, and why don't we start with the CPU?
Yeah, so this is, it's our x86 processing, 32 nanometer. It's our Bobcat core. It has all the great features that we've had in our other products. Integrated memory controller, very high performance cores. It comes in dual core and 4-core flavors. For multitasking or anything that you need to do, traditional PC usage, it's a great product.
And do we have a new socket available for these processors? Yeah,
so the new socket is it's FM1. So you'll want to make sure that you get the right motherboard to go with the new socket. FM1 pretty much stands for Fusion Medium 1. It's pretty logical.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I like it.
And so the new motherboards and the new APUs, you'll want to make sure you get those together.
All right. So buy compatible motherboards for your AMD Fusion Llano processor.
Yes.
So moving right along, we also have an integrated GPU. It's also part of the APU. So can you give us some more details about that?
Yeah, so these are the integrated GPU this is discrete class graphics. It's not like an old integrated graphics. There's on this you have up to 400 cores, Radeon cores. It's very high performance. The A8, it's a 6500 class Radeon graphics. Especially with the way that people really use PCs today and how many applications are accelerated to take advantage of the graphics cores and graphics processing, it means that you have a great balanced processor, because you're able to take advantage of, you want to play a game, you're going to have high performance for games. If you're web browsing, you'll be accelerated. The web browsers will take advantage. If you're running video through Flash 10.2, it's also accelerated. Tons of applications are accelerated today to take advantage of that GPU. So it's not just games. It's everything you're doing will be accelerated by our APU.
And the 6500 Radeon is a fairly powerful card in its own right, and you essentially get one of those integrated with the A8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice. So for those of you at home who are looking for a computer that has the integrated graphics core that is capable of not just doing your basic day-to-day computer use, but also stuff like 1080 video playback, as well as the more advanced capabilities that a GPU needs to handle even browser-based things or gaming, that's all integrated with the Fusion line.
Yeah, absolutely. Things have changed so much. Everything is being accelerated these days. To really take advantage of a GPU core. So having this integrated together is a huge bonus.
All right, and what I could not help but notice, just checking out our retail boxes that we have here, is on the side we are mentioning dual graphics ready. Now, I am familiar with AMD's Crossfire X technology that allows you to take two discrete GPUs and combine them together to make a more powerful gaming system. So there is a capability for these APUs to be combined with the discrete video card and actually merge the powers of both together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. This is essentially it's a version of Crossfire X. It's dual graphics is what we call it, but you can take one of our APUs and combine it with one of our 6000 series graphics cards we have the recommendations of exactly which ones are going to be the best suited together, but you get additive performance. So you add in a discrete graphics card, and you're going to get up to 75% additional graphics performance. So if you have a system with an APU and you want to get better gaming performance or better acceleration for applications, then it's an easy, quick upgrade.
So not just the ability to build a more powerful gaming system from the get-go, but let's say you don't have the money for a discrete video card right away, you can put together a system based on the APU, and then a few months down the line, drop in that GPU and have that added performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Drop in that GPU, and actually, even in your BIOS, it'll register that you have dual graphics, and it'll show you a new model number.
Oh, very nice.
Because it'll show you the model number of the performance that you're actually getting from having dropped in that card.
Now, Brent, I noticed we have a little range of retail boxes here for the processors. We have the A4, A6, and these are both A8, but we have a smaller size box and a larger size box. I understand that is to make the distinction between the TDP of either processor. Is that correct? Yeah.
So there's a 65-watt version and a 100-watt version. And so, really, the box size is just to make sure that we can fit the cooling in the larger box. The 100-watt processor has a larger heatsink and fan.
Makes sense.
And so, yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the main difference. But depending on if you want higher performance, and that's what's really key to you, then of course the 100 watts going to be where you're going to want to go. And if you're looking at, if you're making a smaller, more energy efficient system, then the 65 watts is going to be the obvious choice.
So your 100 watts are going to have higher clock speeds.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the
now, also, I heard you mention earlier turbo core technology. Can you give us a more in-depth explanation of that?
Yeah. So actually, our current products, our X6 processors, the Phenom 2, have turbo core technology. This is actually the next iteration of turbo core. So the current version, it'll basically, with the current X6 products, it'll underclock three of the cores and overclock. Not really overclock, but it'll clock up 3 of the cores to get you better performance, like 400 megahertz of additional performance. The APUs with their turbo core, it's a little bit different. It's much more it's more dynamic. Let's say, for example, you're playing a game which is a multi-threaded game. You're really using 2 cores on the system, and you need better performance. Within the TDP, within the thermal design power of the processor, it'll overclock or downclock cores based on what you're actually doing. So let's say if you're using a really graphics intensive application like a game, then it'll clock up the graphics cores to give you better performance there. So it means that the processor will be adjusting its performance and power to what you're doing with it.
So say if I'm running a single-threaded, I have an old app that's just running a single thread, it might actually downclock the other 3 threads and upclock the single thread that I'm using.
Yeah. Basically, it'll dynamically adjust. So let's say you're web browsing. Let's say you're on Newegg and you're just shopping. Then then the processor essentially will power down to use just really the level of performance that you need.
Perfect. Sounds like it saves power and also gives you additional performance when you need it.
Oh yeah. Not just saving power, it also means that you're building a system that it's not going to be, you're not going to have lots of noise and heat and all of that stuff, which can be annoying. It means that you're going to be dynamically adjusting to exactly the performance that you need.
I would imagine, especially for, say, a living room computer, that you want to keep as quiet as possible. That's also going to be really effective. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the APU actually, it's a great choice for a product for something like a home theater PC or like a living room PC. And making sure that that's cool and quiet and not like an invasive piece of technology in your life. That's important. And as you mentioned earlier, these are based on the 6000 series, or they have effectively a 6000 series GPU built in.
Right.
So if I've got that home theater PC and I want to do a little gaming, these are also DirectX 11 compatible?
Oh yeah. This is our 2nd generation of DirectX 11. So we are 5000 series cards were our first DirectX 11 products. Our 6000 series is our 2nd generation of DirectX 11, and that's now in the APU. So AMD is committed to things like DirectX 11, which gives you direct compute, which is totally important for things like accelerating new applications, but also other open standards like OpenCL that we support. Those are, to us, to AMD, those are very important. Supporting open standards is critical, just of making sure that this whole ecosystem and industry is successful.
Very nice. I like open standards.
Yeah, everybody should.
All right. And now the items you've been showing us here, A4 through A8, these are all desktop versions of the processors, but codename Lynx, as I understand?
Yeah, Lynx.
I understand. We also have mobile versions of these.
Yeah, there's a mobile product as well. It's the codename is Sabine. These are so what we have here, these are our PIBs, which we call them PIBs, processor in a box. Yet another acronym for you.
Nice.
And so these are the products that you're going to buy if you want to build your own system or build a system for others. But yeah, of course, Newegg will have lots of laptops as well that'll have the APUs in them.
All right, so if you're looking for a portable device with the APU integrated laptop or a tablet, definitely the way to go, especially with the APU integrated graphics, because as we all know, we like to play games from time to time, even on our portable devices.
Absolutely.
And that is going to wrap it up for today. Once again, this has been Brent Berry. He is the AMD Senior Marketing Manager. This is the AMD Fusion Llano platform series of APUs. Brent, thanks for coming by today.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's been great being out here.
All right, and thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to our Newegg TV YouTube channel. My name is Paul. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Newegg TV.